what? We're way too quiet. So let's, I always like to start every panel the same way. Let's make some noise. Let's stretch our vocal cords a little bit, all right? So what I like to do is this half of the room go cap, this half of the room goes calm, right? Let's try that 4 times. Let's wake up all the other panels, disturb them. Let's show them who's got the best fans of all. Ready? Let's go. Cap. Cap. Right on. Thank you very much. Woo-hoo! Capcom's the greatest, the loudest fans of all. Right on. Hey, you guys all love Resident Evil, right? Right. We do too. My name is Francis Mao. I run events for Capcom. So it's my pleasure to give you our presentation today about everything about the joys of zombies and Resident Evil. So let's go to the first slide. As you may or may not know, it's been 15 years since that first adventure. Hard to imagine. But what's cool about it is Resident Evil keeps reinventing itself. And some of the games we're going to talk about today, as well as we're going to talk about maybe a little bit of revisiting some of our adventures of the past. We're going to show you that. So first, we're going to show you the special trailer that was created by Capcom Japan in celebration of 15 years of Resident Evil horror. Rated M.
Nobody could have ever predicted it would spread so fast. And once exposed, you never stood a chance. It got into your blood, burrowed into your brain. Countless lives.
We're both gonna die.
Altered in an instant. But that's ancient history. We were just getting warmed up. Coming for you.
Somehow, I always manage to come through. Not this time.
You think you'll get away with this?
I already have, Jill.
Resident Evil. Realizing your nightmares for 15 years.
What is going on here?
That's a lot of Resident Evil. Thank you. So first, we're going to head into talk about revisiting some of our favorite Resident Evil adventures. I'm proud to present Mike Lund, who's the product manager for these 2 wonderful games. Mike?
Thank you, Francis. So as he said, I'm Mike Lund, product manager on Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil Code Veronica X. Thank you. So as we showed you in the 15th anniversary trailer we just showed, Capcom's got a couple titles in queue that we're really excited to bring out again for both fans, new and old. This fall, we're going to have Resident Evil Code Veronica X and Resident Evil 4 coming to both Xbox Live Games on Demand and PlayStation Network. So both of these titles are pretty big hits in their own right, but for the first time, they're going to be coming to your next-gen consoles at a value price, and for the first time in a high definition. Get excited. So let's move on right into the first title, Resident Evil Code Veronica X. You guys like that title? Really? Good. So Code Veronica X is kind of our love letter to the fans of classic RE-style gameplay. The story of this one takes place with Claire Redfield, who you might remember from a game called RE2. Woot woot to RE2. So after the Raccoon City incident, Claire is captured by Umbrella and taken to an Umbrella facility, a prison facility on Rockfort Island. When she wakes up in her cell, she realizes she's been dropped yet into another viral outbreak situation full of zombies, BOWs, monsters, and tons of Umbrella secrets that have to be unsolved. So, again, this is definitely more towards the classic style of gameplay, but not without its modern upgrades as well. It's got a dynamic camera system that helps you around the corner. The dual wieldable weapons, which help you pop off zombies a little bit quicker, also helps you aim to more zombies. And then we also have an upgraded lighting system, which is really going to help you get through those dark corridors. So, and it's kind of a personal fan plug. If I wasn't up here in the panel, I'd probably be down there with you guys wooting. This is probably one of my favorite RE titles, just to be honest. It's got a I don't want to spoil anything, but the story's great. It's a roller coaster ride the whole way through. Excellent soundtrack, and it really hits the sweet spot in between classic RE gameplay and some of the new, more modern REs like production and thrill. So definitely worth checking out. Get excited. This is going to be this fall. So next one we're going to talk about, Resident Evil 4, also one of my favorites. So RE4 was a little bit different. It was a step away from what we've been doing in Resident Evil at the time. It focuses more on what we call action horror. Takes a series-changing, over-the-shoulder, third-person perspective, and also kind of focuses more on aiming, to pinpoint accuracy. So for the first time in Resident Evil, you're going to be able to shoot a zombie in the leg or in the shoulder and melee him, or my personal favorite, the old equalizer, the headshot. There's plenty of those in RE4. So again, the story with this one is Leon S. Kennedy, also from RE2. After the Raccoon City incident, Leon is in Europe on a mission to save the president's daughter, Ashley Graham, who is sitting in the front row right now. Anyways, he runs into a little bit of resistance with a cult called Los Illuminados. It was basically a cult that's spreading this plague, this virus called Las Plagas. It's turning villagers all over the countryside into these monsters, zombie-like creatures called ganados. Anyways, you'll be popping off plenty of those ganados, killing plenty of awesome bosses, and there's just, it's an amazing story, a very decorated title. I'm sure you guys have played it. So with that, Resident Evil 4 is definitely one of the most fan-anticipated Resident Evil titles that we've wanted to bring for a really long time. We know you guys have been asking for it. It's won tons of awards all around the world. It's kind of been attributed to making some changes in the way we play games today, and for some has been attributed to being one of the best gameplay experiences people have had ever. So definitely worth checking out if you haven't already. Moving on a little bit farther, we have a little treat for you. I know how you Comic-Con guys like exclusives, so for the first time ever in North America, we're going to be showing you a little bit of gameplay footage from RE4 in HD. So let's check it out. What'd you guys think? All right, so I got one more little exclusive for you guys today. We finally have a release date for these titles. So on September 20th, 2011, you'll be able to download Resident Evil 4 in HD on Xbox Live Games on Demand and PlayStation Network. And 1 week later, we're going to have Resident Evil Code Veronica X in HD for you, also on Xbox Live Games on Demand and PlayStation Network. So look forward to those titles.
right.
And with that, I'm going to pass it off to my partner, Ryan McDougall, who is going to talk a little bit about Resident Evil Revelations.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, give it up. All right, thanks, Mike. Moving from the HD remixes to some brand new Resident Evil official story content. Yeah, there we go. So this is confirmed as being an official part of the long-running Resident Evil canon. It's going to be telling the story between RE4 and RE5 and revisiting some of the secrets that were left unaddressed from earlier in the series. Let's check it out. So, like I said, first and foremost, it's all about the story with this one. It's a true Resident Evil game going back to the survival horror and going back to the old school style of play, but with a new school twist in terms of the actual functionality. First and foremost, you're going to be playing as Jill Valentine. Your goal in this game right now is to find Chris Redfield. Jill and Chris have been split up for maybe the 20th time in the series. And Jill's searching for Chris on an abandoned cruise liner. Now, this being Resident Evil, it's obviously not truly abandoned. There is plenty of danger and evil lurking around every corner. The setting is a really unique twist because we're able to go back into the corridors, back into the dark secrets, and back into the fear, terror, and tension that Resident Evil really invented 15 years ago, and we're bringing it back. So, yeah. Before we show the trailer, I want to get a quick mention. This is a Nintendo 3DS title. The Nintendo 3DS is a great platform for Resident Evil. The 3D is all about immersion. It's all about making it feel more real. When we have a fear-inducing game, it needs to not just look like fear, it needs to feel like fear. The goal with this title is to ensure that the player is feeling every ounce of emotion that the character is feeling. And the 3D really helps us deliver that impact. Let's take a look at how it looks on the new system.
My name is Jill Valentine. I serve the BSAA as a counter-bioterror operative. We've lost contact with Chris, and I've gone into the heart of the storm to find him.
Slow down.
We're almost there, Jessica.
I certainly hope so. My feet are killing me. Hey, are you even listening?
All right. What do you guys think about the Nintendo 3DS graphics? We wouldn't normally make such bold claims, but this is the best looking game on the 3DS, bar none. We're also introducing underwater gameplay for the very first time in the Resident Evil series. Jill is going to be forced to venture underwater under the most dire circumstances in her mission to find Chris. It's a brand new twist, and it really unlocks yet another new avenue to deliver that fear that we've been really pushing for. So who are the characters that we saw in that trailer? Obviously, we've got Jill Valentine, a longtime series favorite. Jill returns, and like I've been saying all along, we listened to our fans with this title. They wanted more survival horror. I would say, to sum up this game, it's more puzzles, more tension, less ammo. And Jill fits right into that. She returns to her lock-picking ways. If anyone's played the demo today, the very first thing you do is you find a screwdriver, you solve a puzzle, and you unlock a door. Old school style. So Jill is joined in her adventure by Parker Luciani. Parker is a BSAA agent working with Jill Valentine. And one of the things that this game actually addresses as we move from Resident Evil 4 to Resident Evil 5 is the agency of the BSAA. Where does that come from? What's that about? We're really looking to connect RE4 to RE5, not just from a narrative perspective, but from the characters as well, where those characters come from and how we develop them in between those two titles. Parker obviously is a good counterpoint to Jill Valentine. The two of them obviously slightly different builds, if I may. So the two of them will have to work creatively to solve puzzles throughout the game. They're really going to be true partners, and they're going to need to interact with each other and trust each other to get anything done. That's one of the main themes of this title, is developing trust between you and your teammates, especially in unsure circumstances that we'll reveal later. All right. Now, finally, there was one other character that you saw at the end there. We'll talk more about him in August.
Before we go into Resident Evil Raccoon City, I just want to give a shout to legendary Resident Evil 4 producer Kobayashi, who is actually in the audience.
Stand up.
I thought you might want to know that he's sitting right there in the midst of all you guys. Okay, next. Next up is Ray Jimenez.
Hi everybody, I'm Ray Jimenez. I am a producer on Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City.
As
Thank you.
as well as Eric Monticelli, who's the
Yeah, I'm a product marketing manager on Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City, and we're going to let Ray do most of the talking because I'm sure you guys would rather hear from the developers rather than the marketing guys.
Yeah, I'm a producer. We actually have several. One of them's in the back there. I'll let him remain anonymous. But so here we go. So Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. This is a new take on Resident Evil. Unlike Revelations, this isn't a little bit out of canon. If anyone's been kind of keeping up with it, you can do some things that really never happened in the story before, which is, it's all right. You know, this is a new take on it, so we want to let you do new things. Resident Evil has always been about, you know, thinking, shooting, being really deliberate with your movements. You got to know, it's survival horror. That's where it came from. This is more about thinking fast and shooting fast, being quick on your feet. It's a third-person shooter. You have lots of guns, lots of ammo, but there's a lot of zombies, and there's 4 of you. So this is actually going to be a squad-based shooter. Very popular in the type of gameplay now. This is something new for Resident Evil, and I think you guys would really enjoy it. But I think we want to make sure that you understand that we have a lot of the core developers of Resident Evil on this title, and what makes Resident Evil is still in this game. So even though it's not a pure survival horror game, it's still Resident Evil. This takes place during, well, let's face it, it's probably one of the most iconic times of Resident Evil, during Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 in Raccoon City. So that means that you're going to come across a lot of characters that you're familiar with. I don't need to name names specifically, but we all know who exists during that time. So you're going to come across them. You're going to go across some some familiar environments that maybe you kind of only remembered seeing peripherally in the game, but you remember, like Kendo Gun Shop. That's in Resident Evil 2. That'll kind of be sitting there on the side. So you see a lot of that in the game, a lot of fan service in that way. But I think we want to kind of stress that this is a new way of looking at Resident Evil, and we hope you enjoy it. We have a trailer to show. This came out for E3, but it kind of shows half of the story that we're trying to show with this. Look for the future. We'll have more information, another trailer kind of shows you what else is going on.
Can we hit the lights, please?
No time for sappers, Four Eyes! Go, go! That way, pick him off!
On it, Lupo.
Spectre, take them out!
If he keeps bleeding, he's gonna attract the entire neighborhood.
Quiet. I hear him.
So now here's the marketing speak. So you guys, we have a Facebook page going on. If you're not aware of it, it's just facebook.com/Resident Evil. We're close to 1 million fans. That's amazing. Love you guys for that. Thanks for showing up and supporting that. Once we do hit 1 million fans, we're gonna have something pretty cool that's gonna happen. Can't talk about it quite yet, but be on there, get your friends to sign up, like it, and we'll see what goes down. Also, we have a Twitter feed. It's just twitter.com/RE_games. Check that out. And also, we're going to tell you a little bit more now about what's at our booth. So here we got two things in our booth. We have Resident Evil Revelations on the 3DS, as we mentioned earlier. Go check that out. Become the master of unlocking. See if you can do that. Also, when you're playing the Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City, you get to become a member of the USS. We're going to give you a die-cast enamel pin, put it on your lapels, rock it out, show some people some support, and even cooler, and we're going to talk about a lot more of this stuff as the year moves along. We're going to have a lot of awesome collectibles. I've seen so much come through. We've seen action figures, comic books, some other crazy stuff. So as we move through the year, we're going to have some collectibles coming out to celebrate the 15th anniversary. We already have some stuff presently in the Capcom store. So go by, stop by, check it out.
All right, so we're going to have a little time maybe to
Yep,
talk, have some little questions and answers and stuff like that.
Yeah, so really quickly.
Slowly.
So one thing I want to ask really quickly is how many people here were born on 1996 or after? All right.
Resident Evil is older than you.
There we go. Yes. You were born. Pretty much.
That's just
Thank
for fun.
you for being the new generation of Resident Evil fans. We love you guys. Also, older generation. Let's just give a big round of applause for everybody in this room.
And I'm hoping next year, you guys, that you have some of the new characters on your squad there. I think we opened it up for some female members, so I think we have some really cool stuff. So expecting some good stuff from you guys next year.
Very good.
Ray's making fan requests.
All right. Actually, Ryan, did you want to start off? We actually had.
So, like Eric was saying, based on that Facebook page, we really do interact with our fans a lot. Taking fan feedback is one of our biggest priorities at Capcom, not just with Resident Evil, but throughout our franchises. And we're always on that Facebook page, on all of our Facebook pages, interacting with fans. So what we did, we actually took questions from the fans. We're going to start out with one of those.
Well, really quickly, you all are on that Facebook page.
Yeah.
We took a picture. It's up there now. So check yourself out.
So, and maybe Bridget Hansen is in the room, but Bridget Hansen inquires, what's the name of the squid-like creatures shown thus far in Revelations?
Ryan?
You guys saw those guys in the trailer, right?
Yes.
I've been describing that as a HR violation upon Jill Valentine. It's frowned upon in the workplace, but those are really brand new creatures that are going to add a new level of fear. And what we learn in the game is that they're tightly associated with water. The way that spreads is all through liquid. So we're going to be teaching fans throughout the game to be afraid of anywhere there's anything dripping, any water running. That's going to be the sign that fear is to come. As far as what their name are, what we're calling them, squid-like creatures for now.
Maybe that's a contest or something.
Yeah, we'll have more information about those guys, not just what they're called, but where they come from. Obviously, this is a Resident Evil game. There are conspiracies galore. We're really going back to sort of that more deep narrative style. So where exactly these guys are coming from and what their name is an important revelation for later. You want to open it up?
Yeah, let's open it up. Man,
I see what you did there. Yeah.
there you go.
Hello, everyone. I've been a huge fan ever since 1998 when Resident Evil 2 came out. It's my favorite game to this day of the Resident Evil series. I'm very honored to see you all in person. Oh my God.
We love you too.
Thank you. I love you too. So I'm really excited and happy that you guys are bringing back the original survival horror element and the undead. I love, as much as I loved Resident Evil 4 and 5, I kept wondering to myself, where is the dead? Like, where are they? I miss the zombies and the lickers, the hunters, you know, all those guys, even if they kill me 1,000 times. But very happy to see that. My question is for an actual, much more future project, something about Resident Evil 6.
We're actually skipping 6 and going straight to 7. But
That's exclusive. That's how extreme it's going to be now.
Oh my.
Just kidding.
Can you spoil anything for us on Resident Evil 6?
Let's see.
Let's see.
Resident Evil. I haven't heard that title yet.
It's a game.
It's a game.
Are we talking about the movie? Is this the movie?
That's pretty much all you can really say. I mean, there's no such title really announced at the time.
It's going to be about Resident Evil.
There'll be people and bad people and creatures.
yeah, we've got our PR team in the back of the room. So
Pretty sure there's a virus involved.
They're giving us the stink eye
she's
right
shaking
now.
her head right now. We have no announcements to make at this time. So
Stay tuned, though. We're always...
All right. Real quick question. Any returns from Rebecca Chambers, Billy Cohen, Steve Burnside? You got any of those characters coming back?
yeah, if you're a Rebecca Chambers fan, the good news is she is in Resident Evil: The Mercenaries 3D.
Okay.
That is playable today, both in the Nintendo booth and across the street in the Nintendo Lounge. So she is playable there, but in terms of future projects or currently announced projects, nothing quite yet.
All right, but we'll keep us updated, all right? Of
course.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank
Keep
you.
an eye out.
Thank you.
Next, Jill. Jill, here she is.
Hello. Apparently, I'm the only Jill at the con. That freaks me out a little bit.
You got to enlist some others.
So my question, I hope you can actually answer. For me, I'm really into Resident Evil, not only for the horror, I love being scared, but also for the story. I love, that has this overarching plot that we get to follow these characters, that we get to see how they emotionally change and grow. I mean, everybody knows Chris Redfield went through a huge change in Resi 5 from, looking at him in 1998.
Right.
He hit the gym.
Yeah. A lot. But even just, he's so angst and brood. But anyways, so when I saw the teaser for Resident Evil Revelations where Chris and Jill were pointing guns at each other, I lost my mind. Absolutely flipped out. But then when the trailer came out, there was no hint of that. But then the trailer you just showed it again. So is that scene, or anything like that, of Chris and Jill seeming to distrust each other, these people have been working together for over a decade, is that still in the game? Because if it is, I will buy it.
Oh, then we've got an easy answer for you then. So yes, the trust issues is one of the most important parts of the game. That's really what we're focusing on. Obviously, there's going to be action, fighting enemies, etc. But with Revelations, it's really about exploring, how Jill and Chris are engaging with each other. To have those two characters the people in this room know, to have those two characters pointing guns at each other, something must have seriously gone wrong. They've built so much trust throughout the years that for them to be acting like that, that's what we're going to be talking about in the game. That's the crux of the argument, so to speak. And that's what we're going to be, that's the point.
My inner fangirl can die happy. Thank you.
Thank you. Actually, one thing I was just going to say, I was told we only have about 10 minutes, right? So we're going to take 5 questions, so it's worth about 2 minutes each. I don't want everybody else to just be standing there, be comfortable. Okay, thank you. Next.
I'd like to say first, for having played the demo of Resident Evil Outbreak, don't believe what was written about it before in the online sites, because I was believing it that it was going to be a bad game or something, that it was too broken. But you guys turned me into a believer, so now I'm excited for the game. So I thank you for that.
You.
But also,
you're talking about
Operation Raccoon City.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't looked upon too positively. So you guys really changed my mind.
Don't
on
believe
that.
it till you try it, man.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta try
But this goes for Mike Lund, because why haven't we had another Resident Evil Archives book? Since there's so much history, so much art that can be shared with the fans.
I mean, we're always brewing up new things. Again, Eric kind of mentioned something. We're brewing up some stuff for the Resident Evil 15th anniversary, and definitely some surprises on the way, but nothing I can exactly talk about yet.
Sorry.
Thank you so much.
Sorry to keep you in the dark for a minute, but trust us, we know what you guys want. We come to these cons and we talk with you guys. We're aware.
Resident Evil 2 remake.
Thank you.
Hey guys. First off, I would like to thank you so much for including Wesker in Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah, that's fun. It's fun.
That was seriously the most badass character. He's in my team every single time.
I play Chris Jill Wesker.
Yeah, perfect.
Seriously.
That being said, with these 2 new games coming out that take place before his apparent death, that's right, it's apparent. Is there any Wesker we can look forward to? Is he not so much interaction with him, but maybe behind the scenes, pulling strings on the tanker, anything like that?
Yeah, for Operation Raccoon City, as you know, that's the Umbrella security service, so there's a lot of Umbrella in the game. We're not diving too deep into the story yet, but you can expect to see a lot of Umbrella going down in that game. Also, something to note is it's kind of an alternate take on that world. You are the bad guys. This is the first time you've ever seen a Resident Evil game from the perspective of Umbrella, so you're going to get some nasty stuff coming out of that.
And in the 3DS title?
Yeah, speaking for Revelations, I believe the company line is we're going to be introducing brand new enemies as well as seeing the return of fan favorite enemies.
That's right, Wesker's confirmed!
Thank you. Go ahead.
My question is for Operation Raccoon City. You said there's a lot of cool stuff. You mentioned the pheromone grenade. What can you reveal? What is you think is the coolest weapon that you're introducing in this game?
There's actually like weapons, and then there's character abilities that are very specific to them. But I think one of the coolest things that we're doing in this game is every character has what we're calling a brutal kill, and they have some specific brutal kills to particular classes. Because of the nature of the game, it's a bit more violent than we've done before, because it's just a kind of an action game. You can see it in the build now. When you melee a character, you hit the X or A button during play, and they'll actually launch into this kind of like I hate to use the word, but it's fatality kind of thing.
It's like the close kill in RE4. Yeah, I've seen some of it in the demo.
Yeah, it's kind of like RE4, but there's a little bit more decapitation going on. Actually, 100% more
really nasty
decapitation
ones
going on. And actually, I do want to mention one of the coolest things you can do in the game is you can melee in any direction. So someone's coming behind you, you don't have to turn all the way around and melee them. You can turn around and give them a Superman punch to the face. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, the melee is really satisfying. I see a lot of people just kind of mashing on that. If you get into a big group of zombies, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, stop by the booth and let us know what you think your favorite weapon is, and then we'll see what we can talk about after that.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, man. Okay.
Wesker.
My question regards Revelations. I was wondering why Jill's face changed so much since 5.
Plastic surgery.
Yeah, we like to keep it fresh. Yeah, if you go over the series of of games, Jill Valentine, I think has seen more looks than any other character in the history of gaming. So it's a slightly different look for her, but if you actually check out the game in motion, she's very recognizable as Jill Valentine. So it's still Jill, just slight tweak.
Any DLC for Mercenaries?
Not that we've revealed yet.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you. Yeah, we could do.
So I played Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City, and it's awesome. You guys should really all play it.
Glad you liked it.
And Spectre is like awesome, best character ever.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's obviously going to be a big hit. I mean, it's got the Resident Evil franchise behind it. It's such a different take on everything. I know it breaks canon, but will we be seeing like a split, maybe some more like Umbrella stuff, even if it doesn't quite follow canon, like going along that storyline?
Yeah, well,
Yeah. I'm sorry, yeah. So, I mean, it's very much Umbrella. It's not just the squad. There's going to be other characters behind. I think it's obvious from the look of the characters that they have a connection to Hunk, who I know you guys have heard of Hunk. They actually were they trained with Hunk, and they actually really revere him as a person, and he may show up in the game, maybe not. I don't know. But so. There'll be some.
I'm
be
really
some
actually
stuff
sad
going on.
nobody's dressed as Tofu. What's going on with that?
But he didn't.
So another thing to point out about the game is it's really about controlling the truth. What happened was the outbreak went down, and basically USS is in there to make sure nobody figures out what's going on, and then the Spec Ops are in there to figure out what happened. Yeah, what's happening. So on that level, there's going to be a lot of power struggle. So think about that.
Yeah, and I mean, just think about the time frame: Resident Evil 2 and 3, and who's in there and what's going on. There's going to be stuff going on in all those games.
Okay.
So can we plan on like a USS, like a second game, a sequel to Operation Raccoon City? Is there anything in the works that you can?
You gotta release this game first, man.
Yeah, we got to get this one. This one's not even out yet, man. Next year.
Thank you.
Thank you. Last question. Go ahead.
I wanted to say first off that Resident Evil 2 is my favorite game of all time.
Right on.
I like Code Veronica.
In the beginning of the demo, you see Leon driving his cruiser down the street. In the original Resident Evil 2, he's driving a Jeep, driving past a Taxico. Why not in this one?
Wow. Okay, we ran out of time. Sorry about that.
I think in the teaser, the blur trailer that we just showed, he ends up pulling up in a Jeep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So check that out again.
Actually, the demo, if you look at it, there's also someone in the car with them. You guys got to stop by the booth and
check
see
that
who's
out.
in the car with them. So it might just be a different area.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Can I ask another thing?
Oh, well, go ahead, real quick.
Will there be like a mode where Leon is kind of running around in a free-for-all where an online player will be able to play as him in the middle of a match or something like that?
This is for Raccoon City, right?
Right. No, I haven't.
We'll take a note of that. Okay.
No, sorry, no comment on that yet.
Well,
maybe. I don't know. I think
so. Unfortunately, we are out of time. But I want to thank you all for coming, being Resident Evil fans.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.